Okay, now final mix bus. This is where, again, all those little things add up, and kind of using two compression types. The Very style first, just because I feel like it tightens the center image up a little bit and really lets the sides breathe really nicely. So I love that, and we'll talk about that in a second. If you can, check out this Heritage Audio Grandchild 670. It is crazy. It's amazing for the price. It's fantastic. Rather than going out and spending 40 grand plus on a real Fairchild. The second will be the Audioscape G-Bus. So it's like a SSL G-Bus style compression VCA. And the first thing I got to do is, so here is the 670. It's great. You have some input gain, you have a threshold, and then you have pretty much like the knee, like how aggressive it'll capture it. You do have some different timings. I am on timing 2. So when I turn it on, you'll see I may be doing like to the max dB of compression with this thing, but it just tightens up. Again, it tightens up that stereo image with that snare and kick. I don't know, it takes that R88 stereo ribbon and just kind of puts those two ribbons together and just lets the other sides, I feel, just blend out really nicely. So in my ears when I'm practicing, this is the thing that when I turn it on, I go, oh, it's right there. So I do have to, before I hit play, this doesn't really have like an output gain thing. So you kind of got to play with the gain settings, gain staging with this thing so you can control it on the in and out. So I'm going to play without the Fairchild, or without the 670 on, and you'll see me, I'll turn it down probably like 10 dB, and then I'll flip this on, because when I flip this on, if this was all the way up, it'd just be doing a lot of compression. So again, I found a nice where I can push the tubes here without it getting too fuzzy and crazy, but I'm controlling the input more with the master output. So again, I'll let you hear, I'll let you see visually with the EQ. That helps. But here is it with nothing, and we'll go from there. So yeah, again, it's not a lot, but just what it does with that stereo image and how it just combines everything, and it's just it's a special compressor. Very Mu stuff with natural instruments. Just it's almost like it's our brain. It's hard to describe the dynamic part in our brain that balances everything. I feel like Fairchild style compression, just that's it. It's just the way. And tubes just add just such a neat sound to it. I don't know. It warms up the little space in here. It's just great. So I think there's 4 tubes in it, which is maybe a fifth of what's on a real Fairchild, a fourth or a fifth. But hey, I'll take it. Next up is the final piece. Well, I shouldn't say that. No, it's not the final piece. Is the Audioscape G-Bus. So it's a VCA style compressor. Again, just like the SSL G-Bus. Great compressor. It does a little nice finishing touch, and this allows me to control the gain again because I lost it on this output from going into the Fairchild. Now, you'll notice again, I'm not doing a whole bunch of compression with this. Ratio 4:1. Attack is at 30, release is at 0.3, and and we'll do the makeup gain. I am side chain. I'm not compressing the low end. The side chain switch is enabled, so it's not compressing the kick drum or any of the low frequencies. More just the high, like that high energy that I was talking about before, right? Where you get like all that high end cymbal, snare, all those overtones, those really exciting things that get lost because those low frequencies are just so prominent and take over. So we're allowing those to come up a little bit. And I'm going to turn the makeup gain down all the way, and we'll engage this compressor, and then you'll see like it's doing a little bit, like I'm touching it, kissing it, just a little bit, and then we'll slowly bring up the volume to where we want. So yeah, here we go. I'm going to turn the gain, makeup gain, all the way down, and we'll just drop the threshold or raise the threshold. So it's not really going to do much, but yeah, 4:1, 30 attack, 0.3 release, and side chain is on. So we're not compressing the low end from the Fairchild. So here we go. Do one more. This is the makeup gains all the way up. I might compress it just a little bit. I mean, I'm pushing, again, the digital 0 here. I'm not worried about that because when I'm practicing, I'm purely in an analog world. But keep in mind, you could push it a little bit with analog gear. You just hear like the cymbals ring longer. You can hear that like bow, like you just hear the drums singing. Toms have more tone. You hear a little more room, but let's talk about the next thing. I do add a little bit of reverb. I'll let you hear that. Right now, I'm just using, it's a Behringer. I don't even know. It's nothing crazy, but so we have our clean channel, parallel, and this is going to be our reverb. Again, the reverb is nothing special. I don't have, I don't have a lexicon or anything super nice or, some reverb chambers here to mess around with. But, adding it just adds a little bit of depth, and it's just again, there's a little delay because of the processing. It's not the best, but it adds a little something. I'll let you hear the reverb I'm using just by itself. Again, it's nothing crazy, but we'll add it in there with everything else slowly. So yeah, it's nothing crazy, but all together, you add, well, let's do this. We'll do the clean, just to clean through the master bus and everything with all the silk on, just to clean drums, and then we'll add the parallel, and then we'll add the reverb. So here's just the clean. Yeah, and you'll notice again, like all that high-end information now. So the peaks are still about in the same spot for down here, but look at all this information down here when we play. Like it's just so much more in your ears. Now I'll do one more thing, one last final comparison. I'm going to turn off the parallel, turn off the reverb, turn off the silk. I'm going to bypass the compressors. So essentially, let's listen to what this sounds like with just the clean again, so no processing. And now we'll turn everything back on. It's crazy, right? Like the volumes are different, I know. But man, just so many things are in there now, like harmonics and just energy, right? Here we go. So yeah, that's my sound currently, and it's all going to probably change tomorrow, but this has been something I've been really wanting to do. I know that probably 2 people watched all of it, but if you're working on this at home, or you're trying to work on your own mix and you're like, oh, I need this mic, or I need to get this or that, it's not that. Work with what you have, but you could do all this in a DAW, like all this bus processing and different things like that, and or the Universal Audio Spark. You'll get a Fairchild, I'm pretty sure you get these compressors that I'm using in the Pultec style stuff. It's so worth it if you can, just messing around and experimenting. You don't have to do everything analog, but if you are doing this and you're doing like a jazz tuning or mixing jazz drums, again, think that microphone and that computer needs you to kind of really mold that image, even though as clean as it is. That information is there, but it's just buried in the dynamics. So you really got to control the dynamics, bring out what you really want, work on mic placement, tuning, and man, you'll get the sound. So I hope this helps. This is super long. I had a blast. We'll do a little more like this, maybe some more in-depth stuff. If you have questions, please reach out. I love talking about this stuff. So yeah, until next time, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.